Warning. Dark Magician sucks. Like, really sucks. Look, I'm sorry to be the guy that just completely burst your bubble on your favourite anime archetype, but I've got to be honest and realistic here. I'm not going to put out this video and tell everyone to go ahead and invest into this structure deck, spend all your gems on a deck that realistically will have you very hard stuck in platinum. No matter if you're playing the branded version, the ritual version, the pure version, whatever level of copium you're playing on, this deck list, it's just not going to be good. With all that being said though, is this deck playable? Yes. Could this deck reach Diamond? Maybe if you want to play 3,000 games and have better luck than your average lotto ticket winner, but I've seen stranger things happen, and there are certainly a few decks on Duel Links meta that have already reached it with Dark Magician, and that's not even using the new support, so hey, go your hardest. Maybe if you get really damn good at this deck list, you could reach Simon with it, but I'm going to be realistic and put this out there just so you're all aware, so you don't go ahead and build this deck list and just flame me into oblivion in the comments. Dark Magician just isn't a good deck no matter how you build it. But if you still want to build it for whatever reason, hey, here's a deck list for you. So here's today's deck list. Now just a reminder before I get to the deck list, if you're enjoying today's video and want to see more content just like this in the future, especially if you want to see some more selection pack content, as I've already uploaded a Sprite video, this is my Dark Magician video, I've still got Punk, Exosystem, Morphtronic, Dynamorphia with the brand new Synchro card, Illusion Libromancer, maybe Illusion Spiral, maybe Ojama Sprite, who knows, I've got so many deck list plans and so many ideas, so if you're interested in seeing any of that content, remember to leave a like on this video and consider subscribing down below. Alright, let's get into the deck list. So what's new in Dark Magician? Well, this deck list has gotten 3 absolutely bonkers new supporting cards. Well, one of them's pretty bonkers, and that is of course your Illusion of Chaos. This card is absolutely insane in this deck list, and also pretty insane in some other archetypes too, just because it becomes a nice little draw engine. This card can be ritual summoned using Chaos form, but to be honest, you won't be ritual summoning this card all that often, and when you do ritual summon it, you'll be using your Secrets of the Dark Magician, or Secrets of Dark Magic, sorry. Alright. You can reveal this card in your hand, add 1 Dark Magician or 1 non-ritual monster that mentions it from your deck to your hand, then place 1 card from your hand on top of the deck. So this card can literally search for either your Dark Magician or any monster that mentions it, so of course your Magician's Souls, or of course your Magician's Rod. Now the reason this card is so good in other archetypes is because it works so well with Magician's Soul. This card can search for your Magician's Soul, it then places itself back on top of the deck, and of course your Magician's Soul, to summon itself to the field to then draw a bunch of cards, does need to send a level 6 Spellcaster monster from your deck to the graveyard, which can just be the Illusion of Chaos you just put back on top of your deck. So this card has insane synergy with that, and of course it can just search for your Rod or your Dark Magician, whichever one you need depending on what scenario you're in. When your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you return this card to hand, and if you do, special summon 1 Dark Magician from your graveyard, and if you do that, negate the activated effect. So this card is also a pretty good card when it's actually ritual summoned, but like I mentioned earlier, you're not going to be doing that all that often. That's not because this card is all that weak on the field, it's more because this deck list is just better at trying to search for its actual, combo pieces, such as searching for your circle, or searching for your field spell that searches for your Eternal Soul, trying to get out all these different combo pieces. It's generally pretty hard to do that, and also search for your various ritual spells and whatever else to try to get this thing on the field, get a Dark Magician in graveyard. It's all just too much effort. This deck can't really do all that, as well as set up its standard field, so in the end, you're more just happy using this card to search for various pieces, or just using it to draw various cards. That's basically how this deck works. Then we have the 2 other new cards, which I'm going to be completely honest, one of them I'm yet to actually use. It's probably usable in some scenarios, but I'm gonna be honest, your Master of Chaos, this card, it's cool and all, it can do a nice little board wipe, but in general, you're not going to summon this very often, if like ever. It's basically it's a card in your extra deck that you're going to have there as sort of an option if you ever need it, but I don't think that option will rarely ever actually come up. Alright, so this card takes 1 Dark Magician plus 1 Chaos or Blackluster Ritual Monster, so Dark Magician plus your Illusion of Chaos. Alright, if this card is fusion summoned, you can target 1 light or dark monster in your graveyard and special summon it to the field. you can tribute 1 light and 1 dark monster to then banish all monsters your opponent controls. If you summon cards destroyed by a card effect, you can target 1 spell in your graveyard, add it to your hand. You can use blah 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 once per turn. So this card is, like I mentioned, it's kind of cool. You can nuke your field or whatever, but it requires a tribute of a dark and a light, so it might even have to tribute itself. I don't know, I feel like this card is just sort of... It's like, if you've already got the 2 monsters on the field, a lot of the time, you're probably in a winning scenario anyway, so you probably don't need the board wiping effect. So it's probably better you just go into one of your other sort of fusion monsters anyway. I don't know, I don't particularly like this card, but it does exist, it's an option there. If you ever need some sort of non-target board wipe, there you go. Alright, onto the actual other card that does see some play, your Timaeus the United Dragon. This card is basically just a fusion spell, but in monster form, which is really good because this card is actually searchable off of your Illusion of Chaos because it contains Dark Magician in its text. And of course, it can special summon itself by just sending a Spellcaster monster or 1 spell and trap card that mentions Dark Magician from your hand or face from the field to the graveyard. Putting it on the field, then you can activate its second effect, where during the main phase, you can fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as material, including a Spellcaster monster, which obviously includes itself. And it's of course a dragon, which means you can use it to go into your fantastic Dark Magician the Dragon Knight, which once you've got your full board set up, if you've got your circle on field, you've got your souls on field, whatever you've got on field, getting this card out is fantastic because it just protects them all from destruction. So it's a fantastic card to use once you've already got your board set up, but before then, you might not use it all that often. You can still use it to also fusion summon out your other guys, like the Dark Magicians as well, but in general, it's just going to be used to search when you search for off your Illusion of Chaos, to then set up your Dark Magician to protect your entire back row from being destroyed from various card effects. As for the rest of the deck, still just your typical Dark Magician stuff you've probably all seen before, and if you haven't, you'll see it during the gameplay anyway. The only other sort of new addition is, of course, we're now running your Preparation of Rites, because it searches for your Illusion of Chaos. That's basically it. So without further ado, let's get into some gameplay. Alright, so first thing you might notice, I start Plat 3, and my final replay, I'm still Plat 3. Yeah, you should be happy I didn't demote playing this deck, let's be honest here. So, Dark Magician, it's not the greatest climbing deck like I mentioned before, but maybe if you're a lot better at the deck than I am, as I'm very bad at Dark Magician. There's a lot of cards in here that I didn't even really know how they work until I built this particular deck list, so yeah, maybe if you're just a really good skilled Dark Magician player, you'll climb with it, but yeah, reiterating, if you're playing Dark Magician, don't expect to sort of climb super quickly with it. Alright, and you'll notice a lot of these replays, I just get carried by hand traps. That's why I'm playing all the powerful hand traps. Especially considering going second, this deck has absolutely nothing. Alright, thankfully this is a Flu player who didn't open the field spell, so he couldn't sort of doing any annoying chain blocking or do any sort of double summons, so I could just Ash Blossom past the turn. Alright, Magician's Rod, going for a search. Unfortunately, he has Ash Blossom, so yeah, what can you do? But now I'm going to set up a pretty cool little board using my Magician's combinations. Alright, Magician's Soul, sending a copy of Dark Magician to the graveyard, then summoning that card to the field. This is because I want 2 monsters on the field for a Link Summon. Man. In all honesty, I probably actually could have just summoned my, so you could just send this to the graveyard and then just summon my Soul to the field and use that for Link material. I think that was 100% the better play than what I ended up doing. I did a bit more damage this way, I guess, but that was probably a bit troll, I'll be honest. Doesn't matter too much, because I'm just going to go into my Link Spider, and then use these 2 cards to go into my Verte instead. Alright. Maybe this was a better line of play. Yeah, take it back, this line of play was better. Alright, then using my Verte, I'm going to send my copy of my Fusion Deployment. If you're wondering why this is in the deck list, this is why. Because Verte can send it to the graveyard to then summon out a Dark Magician Girl or a Dark Magician from the deck. In this case, I want Dark Magician Girl because I want it to combine with my combination, which is a cool card that allows me... oh my god. We'll talk about that in a second. Boat activates the Nibiru. Fantastic. My Maxx actually has a use versus Flunderies. Discarding it, I'll draw 2 cards because he gets rid of my field. And gives me a token as well. So nice guy, gonna give myself a Nibiru and give myself a draw. And then another draw. Alright, set my 3 back row and pass. Alright, as soon as I can, I activate my Eternal Soul to put my Dark Magician on the field, and activate my combination. This is because Combination is a really cool card that basically allows you to continuously swap over your Dark Magician for your Dark Magician Girl in the graveyard to negate your opponent's effects, and likewise, your Dharc Magician Girl swap over for your Dharc Magician to negate effects. So I'm going to bring out my Dharc Magician, and now I officially have a nice, well, negate for anything he tries to use. Of course, he can Nibiru hit over it first, but he doesn't. And also, I have my skill drain. Do I have my alert still on? I do. I apologize, that's from my stream. I'm not even going to re-record this, I'm just going to leave that up. Alright. Alright, skill drain, negating his thing. I could have negated it with this as well, but didn't need to. Alright. I'm going to summon my Timaeus here. No real reason to summon this, because it's actually going to get its skill drained, but it does give me an extra card on field, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I should have kept this in hand. I don't lose any value though, because obviously tributing this, I can just bring it back with Eternal Soul anyway. He Booker Moons this, I think he forgets that I'm affected by my own skill drain, but anyway. Beat over his monster. And from here, I'm pretty sure I'm just getting carried by skill drain, so... Skill drains are pretty good in Dharc Magician just because you don't really need it. You don't really need your monster effects once you've already developed a Dharc Magician. Especially once you get Circle. This card, it's sort of like, obviously it's annoying at the moment, but eventually I will get a hold of Circle. When I do, well, he can't play the game. I'll just banish his Nibiru, so... I need to use my combination to negate this, just so I can bring back my dude. Literally no real reason for this. I'm gonna bring out 2 cards to the field, but this card was already negated by skill drain. I was just convinced this card was pretty useless anyway, so I was just messing around. Summon my Dharc Magician, summon my card back, and get a negate off of it, but it was already negated anyway, so it really didn't matter. There's also, by the way, because I actually used a Spell and Trap card effect, I could have got my Rod back this turn, which wouldn't have mattered because I'm skill drain, but it's the thought that counts, okay? I think he just concedes after this though. The fantastic Dharc Magician deck, carried by the fantastic in-archetype card. Skill drain. Okay. Alright, now onto all the replays where I think 2 of them I just get carried by Maxx. To be fair, I think a lot of these replays ended up going second, where Dharc Magician isn't favoured anyway, so probably deserved that I opened Maxx. I wonder if I wonder if I went second in all of them, I don't quite remember. This guy was playing Runick Sprite. So thankfully Maxx actually is good against this particular variant. Playing his normal Runick, it's a waste of time, but I think most are going to be playing Sprite now. Draw into an Ash Blossom, which is pretty good. I held the toggle off here to not let him know. Not going to use it in response to this because just to draw 1. And I've seen him discard this, so I know this man's playing Runick. An Ash Blossom has a lot more targets than that. For example, this card. I don't want him searching for a spell card, Ash Blossom. Alright, once again I drew skill drain, so woohoo. Alright, he's gonna activate his Sprite starter, summon his dude. Preparation of Rites, searching for my search for any Dharc Magician card. Activate. Getting my Magician's Souls. I probably didn't play this too perfectly to be honest, but it was alright. Summon this. Unfortunately, he has annoying Spell and Trap card negate, so I'm sort of trying to bait this out with things before using Circle, so I'm going to use my Soul Servant, which I don't mind him negating too much, because if he negates it, I'm just going to be able to use it in Graveyard to draw anyway, so it's not too bad. So he negates it, whatever, I'll live. Summon Circle. Search my fusion spell. Now I can use Souls. Summon my Dharc Magician banishing. Probably I think I chose the field spell, I think. Getting that out of the way. Soul Servant, drawing a card. Getting my Eternal Soul, going to battle phase. Bidding over his monster, bidding over his other monster, and of course, because now I have Eternal Soul, I'm going to use my Secrets of the Dharc Magician to fusion summon. Bringing out the Dharc Magicians, which is like a very, it's like Heat Soul, but not Heat Soul. Oh, we'll go with that. I don't mind having this card in the field too much though, because if your opponent does nuke your Eternal Soul, which I think this guy does in this replay, you'll see what happens. Because Eternal Soul has a really big downside. It may make all your Dharc Magician monsters unaffected from card effects, but if it gets destroyed, it also nukes all your monsters. But thankfully, it's not too bad. I get to draw a card here. I wasn't going to tribute off this because I was pretty sure he was either going to pop one of these, and if he pops Eternal Soul, there's no point having that Dharc Magician left on the field. Turns out he just pops this because he wants to protect his field spell, which made more sense. Which means I probably could have kept Dharc Magician on the field. Especially considering I already had a rod in hand. Not sure why I said that. Alright, he's going to draw a couple of cards. I'm not too worried though, as I still have Skill Drain, and we know this is a Runick variant, a Sprite variant, so Skill Drain's going to protect me anyway. Alright. And from here, he just concedes, he knows it's over. Alright. So this deck list does have a couple of really nasty floodgates. Obviously we have your Skill Drain, but we also have Secret Village. I'm not sure if I get any replays using it, but if you get Skill Drain out or Secret Village out, a lot of decks can't really play through either of them. In fact, a lot of decks just, I think most decks can't play through either of them, so it's really good if you have either of them out, and you will draw into them a lot of the time, especially considering your Magician Souls can give you a bit of draw power, and your other stuff can stack your deck and whatnot, so it does make it a lot easier to sort of get a hold of your floodgates. Speaking of floodgates, here's an annoying one. If I wasn't able to set a card, which I am, so I feel like this card should only be used when like it's Adamantipator's meta or something. Most decks can just set a back row, but anyway. Another Runick deck by looks of things. I think this guy might have been playing Runick Sprite as well. Alright, actually there it is, Secret Village. Alright, so gonna be using my Preparation and Rites, searching for my dude. Basically, my top priority here is get a Spellcaster on field, get Secret Village on the field. That's all I care about, because in this deck, can't play the game anymore. So Illusion of Chaos, gonna be searching for my Rod. So then I can activate my Secret Village, normal Summon Rod, and all of his back row, unless it's a trap card, which I doubt it is, it just can't be used. So now I can just play the game as if nothing's here, I just don't care anymore. Using my circle for this is a common combo, by the way. Sorry. Activate my Dark Magical Circle, then chain your Soul Servant, because this card can look at the top 3 cards, add 1 to hand. This card stacks your deck, so stacks the cards on top, add 1 to hand. Alright, searching for the fusion spell. Not sure why I searched for that one. I'm gonna be honest. Alright, Soul setting my dude. Sending my Dharc Magician to the field. I thought I had like some sort of OTK here for some reason. I wasn't even close, but let's be honest, he can't play through Secret Village. He's already lost. I can do whatever I like. Banish 1 back row. Drawing an extra card. And yeah, he already knew. So you'll probably notice a lot of these replays I'm just kind of winning from hand traps or Secret Village or Skill Drain. That's just the nature of this deck list. Like I mentioned, I don't think this deck list is particularly good. Maybe the branded variant is a lot stronger, or a bit stronger, but pure variant, your main ways you're going to be winning are your floodgates, in combination with having the occasional banish or removal from your actual Dharc Magician cards. Because the actual Dharc Magician cards don't really do a whole lot, so... Alright, another fair and balanced card here, activating my Maxx. He tries to use his Sprite starter, Ash Blossom that. Alright. Hope he still summons a card though, because our hand is pretty dead without it. Alright, searches for his smashes. Sets a couple of cards, doesn't want to give me any more card draw. Scared he's scared I'm playing an actual decent deck list. Alright, activate my Secret Village. This is because I know he has set the starters, which is a quick effect banish if you watch my other video. So basically my number 1 priority once again is just get a Spellcaster on field. I played a bit of a risk here because there was a moment there where if he just thought, I'm just going to pop that Spellcaster. And if he did, or if he stopped my, if he made sure I didn't have a Spellcaster on field, I couldn't have actually activated my own summons. So he had a moment there where he could have like at least popped my Secret Village when there was no Spellcaster. I don't know, either way. There was a bit of a moment there he had a chance. He had an opportunity to screw me over there, but he didn't. So, nice guy. Alright, so I activate Circle, search my Soul Servant. I actually think I played this duel pretty poorly, but we still won versus Runick, so we'll take it. Not Runick, sorry, Sprite. Alright, bringing over his monster so he didn't have the monster negate when I activate my Magician's Rod. Yeah, so it's an impermanence to it, unfortunately. But we have actually got secrets to dodge the imperm. My opponent was not happy about. I'm pretty sure he concedes after this. And he does. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's replays. I'm going to apologize once again for a lot of the replays seeming like, oh, you just won due to your Floodgate or Maxx or whatever. But like I said, that's just sort of how this deck wins, so... yeah, thank you guys for watching, hope you guys enjoyed. Like I mentioned before, I have a billion videos planned this week, so if you want to watch any of that, make sure to subscribe, like, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, hope to see you guys in the next one. Laters.
Hey, big brother, can I watch SpongeBob? Shut up, Mokuba. I'm busy flagging YouTube videos to compensate for the fact that I have an extremely small penis. Oh.